Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Preimesberger, Editor Emeritus of eWEEK.com. Thank you for joining us today for this latest segment of eWEEK eSpeaks. Today's interviewee is Ganeshan Venkateshwaran, and Ganeshan is the CEO of Trianz in Santa Clara, California. Welcome, Ganeshan.
Good morning, Chris. Nice to be here with you. Thanks for having me. A small correction to the title. I am the president at Trianz.
Oh, I'm really sorry. Sorry about that. President, CEO can be two different jobs. I'm sorry about that, but thanks for correcting me on that.
Chairman and the CEO. I report into the CEO and the chairman.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And Trianz is a company that I have not encountered previously. Can you give us a high level on what the company does and a little bit about the history of the company?
Sure, happy to do that. A quick introduction to myself, Ganeshan, president at Trianz, been with the organization for about 8 years, served the technology services industry for over 25 years, rose through the ranks of starting as a software tester, developer, to now having the responsibility to enable the digital experience for our clients and our employees. About Trianz, Trianz is a technology services consulting firm based here in the Silicon Valley. We work with the large Fortune 2000 companies and enable their digital transformation journey. And we work very closely with both the business and the technology stakeholders.
Very good. And what does Trianz do? Now, I looked you up on the web, and man, it looks like you have a pretty wide range of services that you do. We're talking security, we're talking digital transformation, consultancy. There's a long list. I was just going to look it up and read it to you, but you already know it. Can you explain it? Can you explain it to our viewers?
I can. Happy to do it, Chris. Before I talk about what we do, I will probably take a step back and then give some insights into digital transformation itself, right? This is a question that I keep getting asked, and it keeps coming often because there are multiple interpretations of the term digital transformation, right? So various organizations, leaders across various organizations interpret this very differently, starting from on one side to leaders in enterprises thinking of digital transformation as either creating a website or launching a new portal or creating a mobile enabling their application portfolio, to on the other side, the so-called digital champions or the digital disruptors who look at digital transformation as being able to reimagine and reinvent their products and services. At Trianz, we enable our clients, both business and technology stakeholders, in the process of their digital transformation, right? What we have observed, Chris, is given the variety of interpretations, there is no single answer to this. And it is also because of the early stage of a transformation that the entire industry is going through, right? So the way we brought clarity to ourselves, okay, is by sort of commissioning a global survey. Okay, we reached out to about 20 different industries across regions, across covering various sizes and segments of organizations, okay, to be able to understand and capture what leaders across these industries thought of digital transformation. We covered various functions within each of these enterprises, starting with R&D, product development, marketing, sales and service, okay, IT, looking into their manufacturing operations, supply chain, and all through into the back office or the corporate functions such as HR and finance. Okay, and emerging from that came clarity in terms of how should we position ourselves as a digital transformation enabler. Okay, so the way we engage with our clients is by getting involved in a very unique service offering, which we call as digital benchmarking. Okay, now what we do as part of a digital benchmarking is to assess a company's readiness for digital transformation, okay, given the various data that we have gathered, and then be able to make recommendations as to how should they go about transforming their enterprise. In a single statement, if I were to talk about how we define digital transformation, it is the ability to reimagine a company's products and services portfolio and be able to reinvent your traditional business and functional value chain into a customer experience driven value chain. Okay. Now from that comes a variety of services. So we play into the modern technology space, which is we bring capabilities around cloud, analytics, digitalization, infrastructure, and security. What you saw in our website, right, is an end-to-end stack of what it takes for an enterprise to go through its digital transformation. But all of this starts with an exercise that we call as a digital benchmarking, to be able to tell our clients where to start and then put together an execution roadmap for our clients to go from their current state to a target state.
Okay. Okay, so let me get this straight. This is interesting. So you basically, when you work with a company or potential client, you sit down with them and you kind of look at what they have. You take the lay of the land of the legacy systems they have, and you help them reimagine maybe what it could be going forward with new tech. And does that also include still using some of the legacy tech if it works fine, or are we talking about completely replacing, uplifting, and replacing tech that's already there with all new gen tech?
So let me give a context to that question before I answer, right? Why are industries even wanting to do this, right? It is not that digital transformation is a nice to have, especially given the pandemic. Organizations have no choice but to go down the path of transforming their enterprise, because the buying patterns have changed. The way you were comfortable buying something in a physical store, okay, has completely changed. And we don't know if that is going to come back. And even if it comes back, it is not going to come back in the same form and shape. Okay. We as consumers are going to make very critical choices between where we want to spend ourselves in a team, hang out with the friends and the families, versus how we want to make buying decisions. Okay, many of these are going to be online and going to be done remotely. So that brings in the need for every enterprise to go through this transformation process. No one will be exempted from doing this. Now, having said that, there are some characteristics of what best-in-class companies do. Okay, the companies that we call as digital champions versus companies that are watching this. So I spoke to you about a survey that we commissioned, right? We reached out to roughly about 20 different industries. We received about 10,000 responses from various leaders across 5,000 companies. We analyzed over 1.5 million data points, okay? And then we plotted those across two critical dimensions. On one axis is the companies that leveraged their internal data to drive analytics and powerful decisions. On the other axis, we looked at companies that invested in digital technologies to be able to digitalize their own products and services portfolio. And when you plot these various companies across these two dimensions, certain things come out very clearly. There are enterprises on the top right quadrant who are visionary, They have clarity of vision as to how they want to disrupt. These are companies, okay, that influence customer buying behaviors and patterns. And then so you will normally see the high tech and the financial services in that quadrant. Then you have certain types of organizations that invest in technology, thinking that the technology is the solution for everything, but not realizing that their own data is as rich and can be a potential leverage for their success. So when they invest in technology alone and not leveraging on the data, they end up having a trial and error situation. Sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't. So it is a hit and miss. You will see some industries in this category, like consumer products, okay, automotive, etc. Then, of course, there are some organizations that want to wait and see how the whole industry shapes. Those are industries that may not exist in the future.
Okay.
When you look at the pure digital champions, okay, to your question, there are a few things that they do extremely well, okay. And when we look at those enterprises, two things stand out very clearly. One, they are obsessed around their customer experience, okay. Second, they leverage technology to enable their success. Technology is not what determines everything, but the technology becomes a lever for driving some of this success. Okay, and that is how we see enterprises being able to leverage the power of data and digitalization to be able to get to their target state.
Okay, so we have just a couple minutes left, Ganeshan, and how do you work with partners? Do you have a long list of partners to help you with solutions? Does Trianz create its own software and APIs and different kinds of solutions for each use case, or how does that work? In an abbreviated form, how does that work?
The answer is both, right? Given that digital transformation is very unique, okay, and in order for us to accelerate this with our clients, we have built our own proprietary IPs, which are platforms, accelerators, frameworks, okay, across the digitalization, across the cloud, and across analytics. When you visit our website, you will see products such as Pulse, Concerto, Athena Federated Query, etc., that enables digital acceleration for our clients. We also work very closely with the partner ecosystem, but these are partners like the Amazons and the Microsofts, okay, who are leading the path of digital transformation. For example, one of our solutions that you will see on our website called Athena Federated Query, or AFQ. Okay, we work very closely with Amazon to build these products and the solutions, and these are very tightly integrated with some of these strategic partners.
Okay, does Trianz have its own cloud also in the event of a use case that needs to have tighter security with you, or what?
We don't have our own cloud, but what we have is a hybrid cloud management platform, which is a next-gen solution which can integrate across multiple cloud players and host our clients on our platform. So we still work with the AWS and the Azures and the Googles of the world to be able to leverage their compute power. But the hosting of all of the clients' applications happens through the Trianz proprietary platform, which is called Concerto.cloud.
Okay. All right. I'm going to be on the lookout for digital champions from now on, because you've tipped me off to that. I think that's a good term. And I think it explains, the leaders in this business, the ones who are constantly trying the new tech, testing it out. If it sticks, and then others copy them and use them down the line. It sounds like Trianz is a place where you can really go and get an evaluation, get a benchmark, get a complete objective look at your system, and then get good suggestions and find good partners, and I guess also software to fill in the gaps when necessary to really move the use case ahead and to be digitally transformed. Is that a fair way to describe it?
Absolutely, Chris. We cover the full stack end to end because we recognize that as enterprises are going through this hard and difficult phase of a transformation, okay, they need to look out for partners who are vested in their journey and their success as much as they do, right? So from a Trans standpoint, we have invested in all of these tools and methods and accelerators, okay? But the underlying culture and the fabric of the organization is we want to work alongside with our clients and make sure that we hold each other's hands and lead the path of this journey together. And we bring in the capabilities of being able to conduct these digital audits, what I call as a digital benchmarking, to be able to help them with how do they start, what should be the execution around this, and how do they achieve their target state of digital transformation.
Okay. And for our readers and viewers following along here, if they want to get more information, they can go to trianz.com. Is that correct? Trianz.
That is right. trianz.com.
Okay. So there's a lot of information there. I'm looking at the site now. There's a lot going on there. So Ganeshan, thank you very much for your time, for the overview, and for giving us the insight into the company. This is great. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for having me today.
Sure. I'd have it. In fact, we might want to follow up sometime. It sounds like we could go a lot deeper into some of these topics about what Trianz does. But I think we got the high level today, so that's good.
Absolutely, Chris. Happy to spend more time with you. Okay, this is not an easy topic, so more than happy to spend time with you anytime.
All right, thanks a lot. And for everybody following along to the end here, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your eWEEK. Thanks for joining us on eWEEK eSpeaks. Go to eWEEK.com to hear more conversations with IT thought leaders.